Oh.
So, how do we introduce this?
What a great intro already, man!
Oh,
I'm so pumped.
yes. Welcome back to this channel's called Hunks, right? Okay, yes.
Is that what we're doing? Oh, I totally forgot. Oh no.
Yeah, I know. It's been over a year. If you look, the last video was that scammy how to get free whatever money system in Fortnite. It was a fake video if you watch that one, which was a
He
funny
can't even
video.
remember, guys. He can't even remember the video, so don't be ashamed, okay? Because nobody saw it.
I have no clue. What is the thing called? What's the currency in that game? It's
Fortnite? I don't play it, man.
I know you don't play it. It's like, gosh, I'm not gonna even try guessing. I don't care. I honestly
Snapchat Felix, he'll tell you.
Snapchat Felix. He'll just write lol because whenever I ask him questions, he just responds with lol.
That does sound very typical Felix.
Thank you, Felix. Felix is a friend of ours, so.
Yeah. We'll keep his last name anonymous, even though I don't actually know his last name. So.
You don't know his last name?
Well, I think I do, but
it's also German.
That explains why. Because I think wasn't one of his parents German.
I thought both of his parents.
Oh, were they
German.
both? Okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure his mom is German for sure. I haven't heard too much about his dad. So maybe his dad's not German.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's first start off with like some news. What do we hear today? Red Dead 2 coming to PC. We're both really excited about that.
Yeah. Totally. No, that's not sarcastic. I really am actually excited.
Yeah. I love playing all games on PC. I try to play everything on PC unless it's Nintendo, of course.
Yeah, console for Red Dead sucks. So
yeah, I mean, if you're good with console, it's good. But I'm not good with console, so
neither of us are. Yeah,
it's not my favorite thing in the world. But I finished it. Loved the story. I want to play the story again. I was just talking about this to Paul, another friend of ours, who we go to the same school with, and I was like, oh gosh, Paul, I want to play that game again, but I was like, I'm gonna try waiting for the one on PC if it ever comes out. Hey, next day later, today, it was announced.
Yep.
I'm really excited. I wonder how the graphics is gonna look like. I wonder
probably pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, if it was that good on the console, it's gonna be really good on PC.
Yeah, I bet. I'm just afraid about my computer. It's a strong computer, but I feel like it's not strong enough for that game.
No, yours isn't like mine is now.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a better graphics card, but maybe it depends on the CPU. You've got the better CPU.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money upgrading this.
I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna say about 3 years before upgrading my PC.
3 years? Wow, that's quite a time zone.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next series of graphics cards. So currently I have 1080. So now they have the 20 series. So like I would get like the 2080. They kind of came out with a new series. It's called the Super Series. So it kind of replaced 2080 and now it's 2080 Super, which is an interesting name.
Just to make it super.
Yeah, super.
Super awesome.
Super awesome sauce, which is my username. Not without the super. Yes, that's what Felix invented. That friend what we were talking about. But what I wanted to say was I'm just gonna wait for the next series, whatever they're gonna call it, 21 series or whatever. I like the RTX. Like, I don't care about the performance as much right now, but the RTX seems really interesting.
Hey, if it works.
Yeah.
You know, if it works, that's all you need. You don't have to, like, be super worried about it.
Minecraft announced that they're gonna come out with RTX. It's gonna be interesting. There's been these mods what have RTX, but now an official version running RTX.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really cool, I think.
I think this is RTX.
Your graphics card?
Yeah, I think so.
When'd you get it?
Well, I said, like, very recently.
Oh, wait, so you did get another graphics. When did you...
No, I got...
Huh?
Here, I'll check. but it is RTX.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still using the 1060.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, so that's not RTX.
Well, I thought it did, but I don't know. I'm
No,
not a pro at this. I'm not the guy
I
getting
know,
a
but you
degree
said
in it.
recently, and RTX came out like a year ago.
So it's a GeForce GTX 1060.
Okay, GTX 1060. So it's in the same series as mine.
Yeah, I guess.
The GTX series. I think they've. I'm not too big of a pro with the older hardware. I think it's been GTX for a long time. It just recently switched over to RTX.
It's so expensive upgrading computers and stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't
And
have the
especially
money.
graphics cards. That's the most
Oh, I
expensive
know.
part.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Luckily though, they're the easiest to install.
Yeah, you just click it in.
And
It's
then just
pretty
see
nice.
if you got an extra power supply, and that's about it. Really.
Okay. So we are playing Minecraft while we're recording this.
But we're
that
not.
gave it away.
Well, what gave it away?
That you said I need an extra power supply.
No,
oh,
no,
you
no.
mean
It
for your
wasn't...
PC?
Yeah, I was talking
Oh,
about... yeah, you gave it away.
I gave it away. Sorry. Okay. So, like I said, we're playing. Like I gave it away. We're playing Minecraft. Which
Sorry, buddy. Adrian ruined his own plan. He didn't want to reveal it to anyone. He was
I
like,
can
"Oh,
just-
we're gonna pretend like we're not playing anything." Guess what? Didn't happen.
I can just cut it out, but nah, it's fine.
I think it's funnier, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it'll add to the effects.
But with your power supply, isn't your power supply still pretty good right now?
Yeah. Even though it's like the oldest thing in this computer, aside from like the.
If you would
hard drive.
upgrade graphics cards, then you would need a new power supply.
Yeah. Well, it's still 650 watt, but it's just really old.
Yeah, because I think they're getting a bit more powerful, those graphics cards. It's not too energy efficient, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I was thinking about getting a new one, anyways.
New one. Which one were you eyeballing?
Well, just I don't know, maybe another 650 or something along those ranges.
Okay. Yeah, so you can still get a new GTX. I think they're called the 16 series. I'm not sure. It sounds like a weird number, so I'm not sure about that. But for some reason, I'm thinking 16 series.
Well, not a graphics card, like a power supply.
Power supply. Oh, you're still talking about this power supply.
Yeah.
And sorry about my coughing, because I'm still a little sick.
Yeah, he's very stressed. It's been a tough week for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sick from the stress. I went rock climbing and I got sick.
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, I'm very stressed. No, I am stressed. We started college.
Am stressed too. Yeah.
We're going to the University of something. It's a very nice university.
Yeah. Nicest in our state. So.
Yes. It's in the something campus, not the other something campus.
Yeah,
if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's still very general, because there are other schools. There are many schools that have multiple campuses.
Yeah, I just don't want to say the name.
Yeah, because then we'll have to bleep it out.
Yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be hard to find us. It's a big school. Not as big as the other something campus.
Not as big as, but just say the main campus. That works.
Main campus. I feel like that gives it away a little bit more. But
what?
No,
What are you talking
about?
No,
I'm kidding. It won't give it away. There's many campuses in our state. I don't even know if people know what state we're in.
No. Well,
but
I mean,
I've definitely said it before.
Unless like it's all your friends watching, then they obviously know which one.
I don't care if my friends know what school I go to. I have my phone numbers. I mean, phone number. I don't have phone numbers. Technically.
Yeah. It's got a work phone and a real life phone too.
Yeah. I mean, I had a Polish phone. That's why I was thinking phone numbers, but.
Is it connected to Polish Telecom?
Yes. But we don't use it in America, and we have to get a new SIM card when we go to Poland. It's not active anymore.
So you swap out SIM cards every time you go to Poland?
No, we have extra phones because I have the 5S still. So I used the iPhone. Like when I went to Poland last time, I took the iPhone 10. because that's my main phone, and then the iPhone 5S, which is the phone what no one uses in my family. So we just plopped the extra SIM card inside there. And so that's the only phone we used for phone calls because we had reception in Poland because we have T-Mobile, so we get free reception anywhere. I mean, it depends what plan you have, but we have, I think they call it like the grandfather plan because we've been part of T-Mobile for 20 years already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's nice. And so they give us extra stuff. And we only had 2G signal, which wasn't too good. Or 3G. It was 2G. No, it was 2G. We could upgrade to 3G. 3G would have been the best. But yeah, so I didn't really get to do much stuff on the internet, but still I have a phone at least.
Yeah.
Just connected to the internet whenever, but most of my family in Poland don't have internet, so.
Oh, I was just gonna say just use like Wi-Fi, but then again, Wi-Fi in Europe is pretty trash. So.
Yeah, but just Poland is more of a it's not a third world country. It could be seen as that way. Like my family, they're. No. A lot of them are older. They don't use computers, cell phones or anything like that.
Probably use telephones. That's
yeah, they'll use telephones. But like my cousins, they're starting to grow up and move into their own places, and since they're young, they have Wi-Fi, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean it's a necessity nowadays. I mean, obviously for older people, it's not so much of a necessity.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. I feel like in here, like in America, it's a bit more of a necessity to have internet, even if you're old. There's a lot of stuff that could be important. I don't know, email. I feel like everyone has an email pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I think also the pluses is in America is that it's not like you have to what's the word for it, build around old structures, because they were having that problem with transit pre-World War II, where they just couldn't where it was just a nightmare to get to place because they didn't have a good train system. And so once everything was all bombed out and destroyed, it was we could use that as a nice train system. That's why the transit in Europe is so good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice even in Poland.
Yeah, even in Poland. And so it's just here, obviously here in the United States, is not so good because we haven't gone through a major reform of transit since our founding of our country. So
yeah, they say transit is really good here in Seattle. I mean, so now that they know.
Well, I mean, not compared to other places like New York and stuff.
Yeah, but they're always I hear oh, Seattle, they got the buses, they got all the stuff. I'm like,
our transit's
not that good.
It's pretty bad. It's still pretty bad.
In New York, I don't like the transit system there, but I think it's better than here.
Well, it can at least get you places.
Yeah, it can get you places. You just kind of have to be good at using it. It's confusing.
Washington D.C. is amazing transit.
Yes, I liked them much more than New York. Yeah, and it's much neater too. It's very nice. It's dirty in New York. Yeah. I was not happy when I went to New York.
New York's nasty.
Yeah,
nasty transit.
Yeah, sorry New York, but
I mean that's several million people, so
yeah. I bet New Yorkers.
I'm sure they can agree, though. Yeah.
I bet you kind of get used to it after a while. That's New York. I guess over here, maybe people hate rain. We're just used to rain. It's it's Seattle. I mean, there are definitely people who live here and hate rain, but I don't mind.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's like my life force.
Yeah. Driving something that's really annoying in the rain, not annoying for me. I mean, it is a little annoying, but around other places,
other people,
LA or something where it doesn't rain too often compared to here, they struggle in the rain.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Honestly though, I think we get a lot of LA drivers that come up here and don't know what driving in the rain's like, and then so they're like driving stupid and crazy, and it's like, chill, this is Seattle.
Let me slow down to 20 miles per hour. No, don't slow down. I mean, sure, slow down if you need to, but
I mean, you gotta know when to hold it, know when to fold it.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it's different for you. Just drive.
Just drive. Anyways, let's get to these questions.
We prepared some questions for each other. It's a bit of a Q&A, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it was my idea. So
yeah. So you can go first then.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
How strict were my parents? Would 10 be like really strict?
Yeah, like you couldn't have ice cream or whatever like at all unless they left.
So then in that case, I'd say 3 or 2 even.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. They weren't strict at all. I think maybe they weren't as strict. I don't want to like flaunt this, but I was just like a behaved child, so they never really had to restrict me from doing anything.
Yeah.
So, and like let's say with ice cream or something, it's like we can eat ice cream after dinner or something like that. It's not like, oh, you can't eat ice cream at all. Just kind of like logical stuff. Like, of course, you don't want to eat something sweet before dinner.
I think it's different when it's like you're an only child versus like when you're like have multiple siblings.
Yeah. So like you're also an only child. So like, how about you? How?
Pretty close. I would say it's more like a 3 and a 4.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom wasn't very strict, but at times strict.
Yeah, I feel like dads are that way. Definitely I feel like my dad's strict in he's strict for certain things. My mom's strict for other things.
And so they swap roles and stuff.
Yeah. Like I feel like my dad's more strict about like, let's say, money or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Super strict in my family. But my mom, like, she was always over cautious about everything. So I didn't have a lot of like freedom when I was little. So I was always being watched, let's say, by her. And like, it's not like, oh, you can go outside or something like that. Like, oh, like to the front yard. Like, oh, just I'll be going out with you or something. Like, I would have to ask if I can go outside.
Oh, really? I never had to do that.
No, I had to do that. But like later on, less strict. Because one time I've only been grounded once, and the reason I got grounded was I crossed the street by myself. Yeah. So that way, that seems pretty strict.
Yeah, I think it'd be a serious talk. I don't know if it'd be like ground worthy.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. It wasn't like me being grounded. I just kind of counted that was me being grounded.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. I feel like being grounded could be anything. It's just like
you're stuck in your room or something.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't grounded that way. Like I was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like I had to.
Yeah, think Harry Potter, where he's underneath the cupboard. He's stuck underneath the cupboard for like, just for doing chores and nice things.
You know what? I haven't watched Harry Potter, but I've seen that part of the movie because my friend was a big fan of Harry Potter, and I watched part of the movie. It was like he lived there and got a letter from, I think, Hogwarts or something.
Hogwarts, yeah.
And then his, what was that, stepfather or something like that?
His uncle, yeah.
Uncle turned into a balloon or something like that.
Oh, that was that was his it was like his like great aunt or something like that.
great aunt. I think it was a guy. Oh yeah, okay, maybe yeah, it was
Because it
lady.
was like she like showed up and she was like calling his mother and his father all sorts of mean names.
What happened to his parents?
They died when he was like a baby, like when he was an infant.
Oh, were they wizards too?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's why he has that scar on his face.
that's what I wanted to ask.
Because the people who are like, or not people, the person who was like killed his parents like put a big scar on his face, and
Is
that's how he
it
survived.
the guy with no nose? Is that the person?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that
Well,
really who killed his?
he has slits for nose. Yeah,
Yeah.
like little slits.
Uh, what's his name? Voldemort?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. Okay. So Voldemort killed his parents?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Voldemort. Parents.
I need to watch the movie someday.
Yeah, they're good. I wouldn't.
There's many movies I need to watch.
Yeah, there is. Adrian's not in touch with movies. Well, he's in touch with new movies, just not with old.
Not old movies. It's hard for me to watch an old movie. I don't know why. But yeah, haven't watched the Indiana Jones movies,
Yeah, man,
Star
you're missing
Wars,
out.
Harry Potter, or I don't know if this one's a big one, Transformers.
No, I haven't watched that either, so not.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I've definitely not watched a lot of movies. Okay, so
Oh yeah, I should go to the next one.
next question. Okay.
Who-
Do you want to ask the next one, or I'll ask the next one because
yeah, okay.
I know I asked you the same question, but just something different. I won't ask you the not personal question, the one what I personally wrote. A lot of these we're just getting from the internet. That's why.
Yeah. Because we're not original.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to think of stuff.
Well, I mean, we just talked a whole bunch, so I mean, we were talking about it evolved to Harry Potter, so.
Yeah. Okay, I got this one. How did you find out that Santa isn't real?
Oh, actually, I got a good story. About
Okay.
That. So basically, the I think the first time I found out about that was when I was because I always find it really hard to go to bed on Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
And because I can always because my dad, when he's walking around the house, he is not quiet. He makes a lot of noise.
That's my dad too.
Yeah. Well, but see, the thing is, you live in a one-story house. I live in a raised house, and so you can hear every creak, every noise that you're walking on through the floors, because our floors are very old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could always hear them, the both of them just creaking around down there, obviously moving presents. And so that's, I mean, I forget exactly what year that was, but so that was when I first figured out. But that isn't the actual story I was thinking. The real story was this was somewhere around I want to say was it November? Yeah, somewhere around November. I went down into my mom's office. I had to ask her a question, and I literally walked in to her office, and she was wrapping up my present, and I literally saw exactly what it was, and she tried to hide it really well, and she was embarrassed, and I was like, Mom, don't bother. I saw what it was. I straight away know what.
But were you already kind of suspicious that Santa wasn't real, or
Yeah, by then I already knew.
You knew. Okay.
Yeah, but it was it was still really really funny.
So pretty much there wasn't a specific moment in time. It was
no,
you just eventually kind of found out.
Yeah, but that was that was more of when I exactly knew. I sort of figured when I would hear my parents creaking around, and then the next day I'd say, so I heard all this noise downstairs. What was that? And they're like, oh, that was nothing. I was like, yeah, totally believe that. So yeah, that was my big long story about Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Totally believing.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure.
Mine?
Go ahead.
Mine, I feel like it's kind of similar. So, first I need to explain how I celebrate Christmas. Since I'm Polish, we celebrate it a little different.
Yeah, he's good.
So, what's like, okay, so is it Christmas Day, then Christmas Eve, right?
No, it's the other way around. Christmas Eve, then
Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day. Okay. So, Christmas Eve is mostly what we celebrate, and then Christmas Day, like, we also celebrate, but it's not as big.
Yeah, you're more
like,
of the traditional religious celebration.
Yeah, I think it's more traditional. I don't know how they do it in other countries. Maybe they do it in other European countries the same way. But so the way how we do it, and I assume this is a Polish tradition since we do this. So and also our other Polish friends do this too. We it would be like starting to get dark outside. We would eat dinner, and then after dinner, Santa would come. Like, he would like knock on the door. At least like that's how we did it. Like, he would knock on the door, and then like, you know, greet him and everything. He had the bag of presents with him and everything, and he would just kind of pass out the presents and everything, like talk with us, and then like, oh, were you good and everything, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he would leave, and then would open presents that night, and then, you know, in the morning, then it's just a normal day. Usually, like, since my family's Catholic, we will go to church that same night on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's what we do too. So.
Oh, okay. So like the 11 o'clock mass or something like that.
Oh wow, 11 o'clock is pretty late.
Yeah, it's pretty late. And or even like 10ish, something like that. I know it was like that late time of range. So the next day, we usually wouldn't go like to church unless maybe we missed it on Christmas Eve. So then we would just have dinner again. We would like have friends over or something like that, and or we would just go to your friend's house, eat dinner there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So since it's like that, I kind of found out earlier, I guess, than maybe most people, because, you know, Santa was coming over to my house. So who is that? It's my dad. Yeah. It was pretty much always my dad. So the way how he would play it off was, he, after dinner, he would say, "Oh, I need to go to the bathroom," like, or, "Oh, like, I need to step outside." For something.
Step outside, yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, step outside in the cold weather in winter, sure.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah.
And also in my old house, it was much newer than this house. So it didn't have a security system. It had the security system. We didn't pay for it. It wasn't activated, but it still had like beeping doors or something. Like when you would open up the door, it would be beep beep. Like it was, you can hear it around the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
So he, you know, when he would go outside to like, come back inside as Santa, you could hear the beep beep, like to the garage door or whatever. So that was always suspicious. And then a couple minutes later, more than a couple minutes later, it's Santa.
Yeah, presents and stuff.
Yeah. Like, my dad missed everything, and Santa left, and there's my dad. So, technically, my parents never told me Santa's not real.
Yeah, same. They never said that it wasn't. That doesn't mean that.
Yeah, later on, like when I was older, I was like, I don't know what exactly we're talking about. I was kind of saying like, oh yeah, Santa, blah blah blah, and like my mom was kind of trying to convince me more, like, oh yeah, Santa is real. Like we both knew, like, that I knew that it wasn't that Santa wasn't real, but it was more of like a traditional type of thing, what we wanted to do it. Like now during Christmas, we don't have a Santa or anything come over. Like if in the beginning, when Santa wasn't coming over anymore, my dad was asking, like, so is Santa coming today?
Yeah, Santa been good this year to
no.
you?
Like, my dad would be asking me that. So, like, he's asking me, like, oh, should Santa be here today?
Oh, I
Like,
see.
you know? So it was kind of my decision if I wanted my dad to be Santa. I was like, I don't know. So then, he stopped doing it. But there were 2 times that I can remember that it wasn't my dad. And it was surprising for me because I already knew. I'm pretty sure I knew. For one of the times, it was just a friend of ours. I didn't know who it was. No, I definitely knew Santa wasn't real at that time, but I was like, oh, my dad's here and Santa's here. I was actually like genuinely surprised. I was like, what? Who is this? And but when I looked outside when he left, I saw the car that he was in. I was like, it's that person. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we had to do something in Minecraft. I had some questions to ask Daniel.
Ain't no fun for you guys to listen to it.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, I was talking about when I was 3 years old during Christmas time. So, one of our close friends dressed up as Santa Claus, and he came to our house. Of course, I don't remember this. I watched like the tapes of it when my parents recorded it, and tapes that old.
That's okay. That's not that old, man. You know,
I mean, it's not old for us, but it's for some people maybe if they listen.
Well, true. I mean, if you're like a lot younger, like 10 years old or something like that, then maybe. But
yeah, I bet you had CD video recorders. We had those. And then after CD,
we had those.
We just went with cell phone.
That's true. Yeah, well, there's a point where like you could use cell.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have a VCR player still, one that like works. And so what we did was my mom found all these tapes, right? Forever ago. And what was so interesting about it was that she actually found because on one of them it was like a day before 9/11.
Oh.
And so it was like, I mean, it was like pretty calm because I was in Hawaii at the time. Mm-hmm. And so it was like we were just like looking over. It was just fine, you know, no issues. And then there was this gap between footage. So there was the day before, then there was nothing on 9/11. Then there was after that, day after, another tape. Which is like, it was so interesting just like seeing that. I was like, wow, they must.
Did she like in the tape talk about what happened?
No. It was literally just there's literally just I think because they spent the whole day watching the news and kind of happened. Sort of thing. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think that's really interesting, you know.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear like people how like they found out where they were at and everything. Like I had in teachers were telling stories about what happened, and it's just interesting. Like just like from our high school, like they were heading over back to school, and like you know they were like watching it later in their classrooms through the TVs and everything.
TVs, yeah, that they had.
Mm-hmm. All right. We went a little bit off track. So back to the story. So, our friend's, her dad was Santa Claus, and in the tape, she just keeps saying, "That's not Santa, that's Dad." But of course, like in Polish, but like, no, that's Dad. Like everyone was like, no, like no, that's Dad. So it's funny.
A total non-believer, yeah.
Yeah, total non-believer. I had one friend who wasn't even like, wasn't trying to do, I don't know, like, he was just really mean about it, like strict. Like he was like, no, Santa's not real. Like whenever I would like talk about Santa, like even though I
That's
didn't
harsh.
know about Santa, no, like I knew that Santa wasn't real. Like I would always say like, hey Santa, blah blah blah. Like I would just go with it. But he's like, no, Santa's not real. I'm like, It's just like, come on, dude.
Did he have like a bad experience? Did Santa come down the chimney while he was hanging out in his living room?
I don't know. I don't know his experience.
Or was it his dad pretending to be Santa and the beard came off? He was forever traumatized.
Hey, maybe it has something to do with his dad because he is from Poland. He moved here when he was 4 years old. We're the
When
same
Santa
age.
came down his chimney.
Yeah, but his dad lived in America, so that's why they moved here later. So who knows? Maybe it is something about his dad. But yeah, I don't know. Something just really harsh about it. So whatever. But yeah, that's the end of my story there. But I think we've been going on for pretty long, so I think we should cut it off here, and we'll just continue on going for the next podcast. Should end up around like half an hour or something like that.
Well, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
Let's see, how long? Oh, it's been almost an hour for my.
But we're cutting out a lot of time.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to say before we go off?
Bye. If you watch this, make more of this. If you don't, we won't. Just kidding. We probably will. I don't know. We just want your support because then it means a lot to us. You know, because we put a lot of time and energy into this. Well, Adrian and I do, and it would be really nice just to see some positive feedback. And
I always love seeing what people think about the videos. If it's negative, if it's positive. I mean, don't be a jerk about it, but just like, just say how you felt. Say how we can improve or something. Like,
sure, yeah.
Why you would want to watch our channel? Like, give us some reason so we can improve, so we can get more people.
Hey, we're not 12-year-old children anymore, so that's a plus.
Yes, look for my old channel. AlphaCast. Okay, have a good day.
Okay,
and
bye.
Goodbye.